One of my favorite workouts right here. 5-mile run and 100 chin-ups. Right now it is 1:13 p.m. I'm gonna go ahead and put my timer. And I'm gonna see how long it takes me to do 100 chin-ups. And through the workout, we're gonna be talking about just overall just fitness, nutrition, training, motivation, discipline, consistency, the type of results that we should be seeing, how long it takes, taking into matter your age, your height, genetics, if we can, right? I don't think we can know when somebody has good genetics when you see extraordinary results in a faster way, shape, or form, right? But anyways, let's go ahead and start the timer. Let's get this video started. Let's get this party started. All right, so my plan is to finish in around 20 minutes. We'll see. We'll see how long it takes, because I haven't done this in a while, but I like to kind of, just stick to the basics basically. So we got cardiovascular, we hit the legs pretty good, and now we're gonna hit the upper body. Chin up is gonna work bicep, tricep, shoulders, almost the entire upper body. And if you want to work the back a little bit more, then we can do pull-ups, right? I tend to stick to chin-ups, but I do pull-ups here and there, and that's a really good exercise for a back exercise. So let's get started. You know what? Perfect. It's 11, it's 1:15. All right, so the first ones, I just want to kind of warm up, so I'm not going to go all out the first round. So let me go ahead and get a good little warm up. That's 20. All right, the best way to keep track of this, I usually have like some pennies with me or something like that. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna use our phone. We're gonna use this, and we're gonna go ahead and place it. Let's see. I'll just write it down. So we're at 20. Boom. All right, so we're at 20. Okay. All right, so last time I made a video on what's the deal with, or actually it was called, what was it called? The harsh reality with fitness, right? The harsh reality with fitness. Look, let me tell you this. Let me before I start, I want to kind of let you know my background. I've been doing this for 16 years now. I opened up Manny's fitness program in 2009, and I've been running a ton of boot camps, outdoor, indoor. I started just outdoor, now I'm indoor since 2009. And I just started doing personal training maybe a year ago, and I was never really trying to do personal training. I'm so intense that for me, personal training, I couldn't kind of just stand still and just, kind of a lower intensity way to train somebody, but more detail, right? More corrections, more form, technique, and all that. And boot camp, yeah, you still do corrections, and you utilize exercises that are not too complicated compared to personal training. All right, so we're at 20. Let's see if we can now do regular. Not bad, 30. So After training so many people, I think we're getting away from sticking to the basics. Cardio, core, and strength. Here, I've said this before. People confuse getting in shape with bodybuilding. When you're getting in shape, you're bodybuilding, right? You're building the body, but everybody knows bodybuilding is more aesthetic, right? And it's kind of more for competition, for show, so on and so on, right? So now you have people trying to follow a workout regimen to get in shape, but it's actually for bodybuilding competition. There's a difference. There's a difference because technically bodybuilders are not healthy. Bodybuilders are not healthy, right? A large amount of muscle in the body is not healthy, right? It's not normal. And throughout the years, bodybuilding has evolved into a bigger physique, right? If you look at the Mr. Olympia, whenever it started, the first few years from when it started to now, they're like 3 to 4 times bigger, right? They're 3 to 4 times bigger. Let me know in the comment section what you think. So over the years, they're getting bigger and bigger. Are they gonna get even bigger? Hey, it's crazy with the whole PEDs, steroids and all that. It's insane. It's insane how bad it is right now. So a lot of people are getting in shit, trying to be healthy and strong, thinking in a bodybuilding way, which is not good. Because like I said, bodybuilding is more for show. If you want to look like a bodybuilder and be healthy, it's not going to happen, right? Because looking like a bodybuilder, you're going to have to take something. All right, we're at 30. All right, that's 40. All right, we're at 40. Yeah, so that's the thing with the whole fitness. And that's why I think it was a good video. What I do is I just speak the truth based on just what I know. Right, I'm not the greatest trainer out there. I'm not the greatest bodybuilder or anything like that. I'm not the greatest person in the greatest shape possible. No. Am I average? I don't think I'm average because of my performance. Right. A lot of my members are here in the program because of the level of performance that I have, right, at my age. And that's aspiration for them, that's motivation for them, right? Being able to do certain physical movements at a certain age without getting hurt, and just the ability, right? And having more energy, not getting sick, less prone to injury, so on and so on, right? So I'm not gonna say I'm average. I'm just above average, I'll say. I'm just above average, all right? Even today when I was going on my run, I did 4 miles, and then I went and did 1 more mile because I was like, I feel pretty good, you know? And I actually had to meet one of my sons over there in some other location. So I'm like, might as well put an extra one, right? Because I went on my 4 mile, came back, and then now I had to go meet my son, and that I calculated another mile. All right, so we are at 40. Halfway's all right. All right, that's 50 right there. Not bad. Yeah, so the thing with all this is continually, I know I'll sound cliche when I say if fitness has to be a lifestyle, and which is true. I was talking with one of my sons, my small one. I have 3 sons. My little one, he's 7. He's about to turn 8, and he's been around fitness all his life, you know. And so now over here, he's like, "Hey, Dad, can you build muscle if just with eating good food?" Right? And I'm like, "No. You're gonna have to work out, right? You're gonna have to work out." And then I'm like, if you just continually eat food and you don't move or work out and stuff like that, if you are eating a lot of food, right? Because what kind of food are we talking about now? If it's processed, if it's mostly carbs, you're gonna build body fat faster than you having protein, good fats, good oils, and carbs, right? You're not gonna build as much body fat as you would if you were eating the majority of it carbs, basically. But let's say the majority of it is carbs in his mentality, right? I'll say if you keep doing that and you don't work out, you're gonna get overweight, right? You're gonna get fat. That's it. Honestly, right? Because too much of a good thing is also not good, right? It's calories is calories. And like I said, if it's not mostly carbs and it's more protein and good fats, good oils, then you're not gonna really eat too much anyways, because the protein and good fat, good oil will fill you up, will keep you satiated, and you won't be eating as much. But if it's the majority of it is carbs, then you're gonna continually be hungry. Carbs digest so quick. That's why right away they're used, they're digested faster, and you're hungry. Your body wants more. And since it's so low in protein, your body is always looking for protein because of recovery purposes, branching amino acids, right? Recovery purposes, replenishing purposes, so on and so on. So if you don't give it enough protein, it's always gonna be asking for it. And asking for it might mean giving you your craving mechanisms. So once you start craving, you get hunger, and you're gonna eat more. And if it's carbs again, it keeps going. It keeps going. You gotta give yourself protein, good fats, and good oils. All right, here we go. We're 50. We're about to hit our 60 right here. That's 70. I mean, 60, right? Yeah. We're at 60. All right. Yeah. So, and that's the thing. You know what? If I were to say, if somebody would ask me, Manny, what do you think? Why do you think a lot of people are still suffering from being overweight, being weak and unhealthy? I would say, although there's so much fitness advice out there now, I would say busyness can destroy you, right? Busyness. I would say busyness will destroy you, because you're always so busy that you don't find the time to work out. You're only eating. And guess what? You can survive without working out, but you can't survive without eating. You see that? So a person is going to eat although they're busy or not. And look at the convenience now. Look at the convenience. So this one, we're going to call this one Busyness. Busyness will destroy you. Yeah, we're gonna call this video, we're gonna put that on the title. Busyness will destroy you. That is a great topic to talk about. Wow, yeah, if I were to just put everything together and really narrow it down to one of the main reasons, because before this I was gonna say, well, it's because there's so much information out there. Like, oh man, the social media is so big in the fitness industry, with the fitness industry, and then you have so many other sources, books, magazines, even individuals, individuals that are continually are trying to get in shape, and they're already giving advice, right? But you're still trying to figure out how to get in shape, how to lose weight the correct way and build lean muscle tissue the correct way. You're still trying to figure that out yourself, but you're already giving advice, right? That's a recipe for disaster. So I was gonna say that, but let's take two. Busyness will destroy you, right? Busyness. Yeah, because a lot of times, based on my experience and dealing with 1,000+ people by now that I've trained either in boot camp, personal training, or online coaching, that subject comes up a lot. Or that, I guess it's an excuse. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's an excuse. That excuse comes up a lot. Like, oh, I'm too busy, I don't have time. And I'll be like, you have to make time. If it's important for you, you're gonna make time. Right? Let's go to 270. All right, that's 70 right there. And we've been in for 17 minutes. We're at 70. We need 30 more. All right, yeah. So, and I get it. A lot of us are busy because the economy. I'm gonna say the economy. I will say we add way too many things on our plate, like too many responsibilities, too many leisures, too much entertainment, too much. Let's say affairs. Too many affairs, right? It's just too much, right? And a lot of times we're like, well, that's what I want to do, this and that. Yes, but in a balanced manner, all right? We all want to do this and that, but if it's gonna keep me in a lifestyle that I can't even find time to get my fitness in or workout in, then I gotta make some changes. I'm not gonna keep going like that. I'm gonna have to sacrifice, right? You're gonna have to sacrifice the entertainment or leisure first, right? Because there's always a time and place for that. That comes secondary. That should be coming secondary from your fitness, right? All right, so we're at 70. We got 30 more. All right, that's another 10. And notice I am modifying a little bit. I'd rather modify than compromise my form. Like, I can do 10, but at 7, the 8, 9, and 10, I'm gonna be struggling, right? I'm gonna be just all over the place. I'd rather do it right with modification than to compromise my form. So that's why I'm doing it like that. But anyways, so yeah, just knowing how to sacrifice will be a big, how should I call it? A big principle is, yeah, sacrifice. And get your fit. And I tell people, if you get your fitness in there, you'll actually be able to do all the other things more effectively, more efficient, right? You'll have more strength. You'll be sleeping better, therefore you'll be recovering better. You'll have more energy because now you have brand new muscle fiber tissue. You have a good vascular, cardiovascular level. So you'll be able to actually do more, right? So it's actually a huge benefit to get your fitness in there some way, somehow. All right, we're at 80. Here we go. We're almost there. $90. All right, and we've been in it for almost 22 minutes. All right, so man, hey, this kind of stuff is some real stuff, because before, I can understand when you're a teenager, you don't have as many responsibilities as you do once you get older, right? Once you have a family, you're married, wife, kids, right? Business or occupation, profession, career, so on and so on, right? So if you are an adult with that on your plate and you're not finding time to work out, then there's an area where you're wasting time. There's an area where you're wasting time. And a lot of people might not even see it unless you write it down. Like what I used to do back in the day is I used to sketch out my daily schedule, like what I usually do throughout the day. How much time am I spending here? How much time am I spending there? So on and so on. Right? All right, so let's get it done. We got 10 more. 10 more and we're done. There it is right there, 100 chin-ups in 23 minutes, 30 seconds. So yeah, busyness will destroy you. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Subscribe if you're new. Stay motivated, stay dedicated. I'll see you on the next video. Laters.